Hi everyone, welcome to the live. Just having a few issues logging onto Raid this morning. Hey, that's the one. Right, hello, welcome. It is Personal CvC Day. And we have already got a massive lead. What is happening? Oh, quite a lot. Good stuff. Right. What are we going to do today? We're going to just chuck some points out and see where it gets us. How are we doing? There's a few people online. Might as well. Right, nothing going on in clan. Right. Let us look at a couple of really easy ways of getting some silver and some CvC points. So first things first, I just don't like to be energy capped. I know there's a dragon tournament going on at the moment, so we will just burn one bit of energy there. And I think one of the main ways we're going to make some money today is probably going to be a bit of crafting in the forge. And depending on time, I might even hop on to one of the other accounts that I'm doing a takeover on. Because I think, as per, one of the main sources of, well, really anything points-wise today is probably going to be leveling up artifacts. Which means gear cleansing. Hopefully we get this dragon down nice and quick. Right, there he goes. Oh, please have speed on it. Yes, but not the thing. That's alright, that's good. Right, I've already done quite a lot of dragon yesterday. I'm not going for the fusion, so I'm not that fussed about doing the events in the right order at the moment. Let's see where we're at. 1825. So what I probably will do is I will go for some fragments, and then they can be exchanged for those moored token things. There is a champ training tournament going on as well. Was that I saw? Was it events? Champ training event. That is a bit of a shame, actually, and a bit of a trap, because I think champ training events don't count things like upgrading skills. No. So if you're saving mythical or legendary books, this is not the event to use them. I'm trying to think, there's not really anything in there that I want. And there's no good rewards in Dungeon Divers. That's not bad. Gold chest, but I probably won't push that far. What else is happening? We have quests today. I usually grab the Chimera and Hydra ones, because I don't think anyone else on the clan is doing this difficulty. Can't do Ultra Nightmare. Do that. Chimera or Nightmare, and that way we are not taking quests from other people that might be able to do them. What's in the shop? Energy. Good. Nothing else. That's a shame. But we have a nice reserve of energy. And if I'm not mistaken, before I went to sleep last night, I stored up some energy. We've got 200 there, another 100 here, refill here, and I think there's one in there. So that should keep us going for a little while. We'll probably save the energy for Dragon. Is there anything else? Faction Wars and Shogun. And Forge. Okay, so it works out well for the Forge. Let us start there. Now, one major thing to just never do is forge these top two sets. Simply because the requirement for Major Steel is so high. It's 50. Per craft, it's 50 of those, whereas on every other set, it's 5. It doesn't go lower than 5, does it? No, 5. So if you are going to do masses of crafting, it's not about these top two. I accidentally did one and burned about 8,000 Magisteel in one hit. And it has taken me weeks to recover. What I'm actually looking for are these 3 to 4 star forges here. There's probably not many because I did this a few weeks ago. But if you've not done this before, this will make you absolutely millions and millions of silver. So we're just going to start here on the 3 to 4s. I have a filter set up where it doesn't keep anything below 5 star. And considering this is just 3 to 4 star gear, it's going to sell all of it. So we're just going to max it out and sell it. And they go 40 crafted. Didn't actually get any because obviously we wanted to sell it all and we got 500,000 silver. Let's just go through and do that with the rest of them. And this is all just points and it's all silver. Now, if you are doing this for the first time, you will probably see hundreds here rather than just little numbers like mine. Because we like getting loads of silver. I think that's those done. Don't think I missed anything down the bottom. No. So one thing I did want to do today is I wanted to craft a whole bunch of my perception gear. I'm not going to worry so much about the mythicals, because right now I'm just looking to pad out a few champs that I can use in Cursed City. Now, I don't have many speed charms, so I'm probably going to just roll these and see what happens. I might do a few with accuracy. Obviously, that's what we want perception for. So out of how many can I do? Using this number, I might forge. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the accuracy and I'm going to just forge 45. In fact, let's go for the 49 of those. And this is what we're left with. Not a lot, but that's all right. And then the other one I wanted to put a few into. was going to be bolster. And here I am going to use some speed. I'm going to forge 25 of those. That's what we got there. And I'm just going to take those into our gear selection. And here's what we've got, and a couple of other little bits. So first off is that mythical speed item we just got. Obviously it's speed, we just want to see speed, so that's not a very good start. Unless it rolls speed now, it's going in the bin. Nope, that is a sell. It's a shame. Supersonic set, exactly the same as speed. You only put it on people that are going really fast. So if you've got supersonic items that don't have speed on them, they are just taking up space. And we want doubles and triple speeds, which we're not going to get. So that is a sell. There's only one way to get champions on your account at close to 400 speed, and that's with triple rolls in speed, not with doubles. Right, let's start on the Merciless. I didn't think many of the rolls were that good on these so far. Yeah, they're not. So there's two uses for Merciless when it comes to gear cleansing or deciding what to keep. It's one of the few sets that has a sort of dual function. And that is, you can either use it as a straight up damage set, which is what it's intended for, or if you've got accessories, you can start to use it as a 4-piece alongside another set that will do a similar thing. So let's pull up, I want to say maybe my Newt. Yeah, so the way I've got Newt built is he's 4-piece Merciless, so when he's attacking, he's got a chance to reduce the cooldown. And he's also in Reflex, so he's got a 40% chance to reduce the skill cooldown as well. And the idea of that is that he can just cycle his max HP hit as often as possible. Yes, there's a big argument to put him in something like Savage or Lethal, at which point he will do a lot better damage in things like wave content, probably Arena, but I'm only using him for his enemy max HP hit, because in the dungeons that I'm using him, something like one should we go with? We'll just go with somewhere like Sand Devil. The aim of the game is he never actually hits with another skill that's not his enemy max HP. So Marius max HP, Newt max HP. They get reset. And then it's the same thing again. Marius max HP, and then Newt will come back in with max HP. So I don't actually use the A1 and A2 in really any content that I'm using in, with the exception of Chimera. But once again, in Chimera, hitting his max HP hit is going to get you way more Chimera points than his normal hit. So I'd say there's a good argument for not putting him in Savage. Oh, that's frustrating. It got rid of our filter. So with an item like this, unless it really hits the crit rate, there's not a lot of use for it. No, see, that's going to be a sell. I'm quite strict with Merciless gear. I'm quite strict with all gear now. This is slightly better. Attack and crit rate are the only stats we really want to see. Attack's alright. Crit rate would have been stronger. That's better. Probably not going to take it to 16 for now because there's not a tournament on, like an event, sorry. Kept this. See, I will keep Merciless Blues. Just on the off chance, if this hits double crit rate and then maybe the next stat is speed, that could be really good. So I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to roll it straight to 12 and hope that I don't get any rolls in HP. Good. Not great on the stats, but hey. What else? Same with it. This is a not very good piece of gear for Merciless. Plus, it's only a 5-star, so even if it does double or triple into crit rate, it's not going to be a lot. Yeah, 13, it should be like 16, 17. If it goes triple, we'll keep it. No, that's going to be a sell. Ooh, I've gone blind. Where are we? Here we go. See, this is a shame it's not a 6-star, because these are the 3 exact stats I would want to see on Merciless. That can go straight to 12. Interesting. I mean, we'll keep it, but it's a bit of a non-thing. This is an example of something that's got to be sold. Crit damage gloves for Merciless, brilliant. But look at those 2 substats. I don't want any of them. Attack's the better of the 2, but the only reason I'm rolling this is because it's Merciless. See, that is just terrible. Sell it. Right, onto these boots, I think. It's a shame to see no speed on this. Merciless champs, they're probably going fast. What would I want from this roll? I guess crit rate, crit damage. Because I wouldn't normally keep a pair of boots that aren't speed main stat unless it's got speed in the substats. So this is, if this doesn't go like triple crit rate or triple crit damage, it's not going to get kept. So this will decide. It's got to be now double crit rate. No, that's a sell. Same with these boots. There's no speed on them, so I'm not really going to want to keep them unless they roll a triple crit rate, which they didn't do. That's another sell. And I think it's just these 3. Oh, there's a pair of gloves there I didn't do. Defense % gloves in Merciless is another way that you can build, you know, you're into like utility, but there's no speed on it. So they are going to get sold. Speed boots with absolutely terrible substats. Right now, the only stat I would want there is probably the accuracy, so I'm looking for double or triple accuracy. Didn't get it. It goes in the bin. You will get tons of Merciless gear if you keep farming Cursed City. As you can see, I've got a lot of 5-star gear. It is well worth keeping when it comes to Merciless. Don't throw it away just because it's not 6-star. What do we want here? Probably crit damage as the main. That's what I'd like the most. But I'll settle for defense if that's going to be the way it goes. It's going to hit attack, isn't it? Yeah, so that's useless. Yeah, terrible. Goes in the bin. Yeah, and this is an example of a very bad pair of boots. Defense main stat with 2 lots of attack, which do not synergize with defense. HP %, which is doing nothing. And then flat defense. Get in the bin. Right, I think then that puts us onto the perception that I crafted. Right, what do I look for in perception? As I always say, the clue is right here. I'm looking for items that have got speed on them and accuracy on them, because that's what this set is for. So initially, I can go through and actually just straight up delete anything that hasn't got speed on it. I'll be more critical with the 5 stars than I will be with anything else. And what I mean by that is when it comes to 6 stars, I will keep something just because it's got one, just because it has speed. When it comes to the 5 stars, I want speed plus accuracy. So I'll be a lot less lenient with them. Right, what's here? Speed, accuracy, that's just accuracy, no good. Speed, resistance, it's on a 6 star. It's a maybe, but probably a not. What's the difference? This bit's better because it's a percentage. Resistance, crit rate, accuracy, no good. Speed, resistance, crit rate on a 5 star, no good. And when I say good, that's no good for me. Do not, don't copy someone else's gear selling. You must know what's right for your account. That's good. Speed and accuracy on HP gloves. Crit damage with crit rate and speed. Could be interesting. No speed. Speed and accuracy, great. On attack percent gloves, amazing. One of the only reasons you should ever keep attack percent gloves. But I don't need 5 star. This is an item that I do actually need specifically 6 stars for. It's for my bomb champions. Defense percent with accuracy and HP, really good, but with no speed, they go in the bin. No speed. No speed. The rolls have not been kind today. Speed main stat with accuracy, very good. Not too sure about the rest of the stats, but they'll do. Attack percent boot, very good. With defense, attack, and HP, no good. Bin. These are better. They're a slightly defensive themed pair of boots. And then neither of these were speed, nor did they have speed on them. Right, that's the perception out of the way. I think the other one I did was bolster. Now, what are we looking for in bolster? HP and speed. Just trying to work out the wording. Yeah, so with bolster, it's like a shield set, but it's protected. And it also means that every time you take a turn, you heal yourself by 10%. So, excuse me. The best gain you're going to get is by making this 10% heal better for you. And the way you're going to do that is by stacking as much HP as possible. So in a bolster set, I think of a champion like... I think I do have one in bolster. Yeah, I've got Pythian, whatever his name is. He's in bolster. He actually hasn't got very good stats. He's on my list of champs to rebuild. But in principle, high HP, high speed. As well as some defensive stats, like defense. and also resistance. So he's ignoring, well, not ignoring, but then he's got a chance of resisting when people try and lock him out. So we're starting right there with a 5-star, which is not really very good, but it has got speed on it. So we'll keep it for now, but it'll probably get sold. Speed, good. Resistance, good. Crit damage, not so good, but 2 stats out of 3 is good. Speed, good. Not with attack, not with flat defense. Speed with flat HP, it's a shame, but it will do. Resistance, speed. See, something like that goes in the bin because there's no speed, there's no HP on it. Shame about the flat stat. Otherwise, those stats would have been something I'll be very happy with. No, it's not the worst bit of gear, but it's not what I'm looking for. Flat stat on the chest, that's a shame. Flat stat on the chest, that's a massive shame. That's no good. HP percent chest, perfect for bolster. Speed on the substats, even better, but look at these two, they're terrible. And it's only a 5-star, so I'm probably not going to keep it. Same there, no speed. Once again, a bit like with the rule of the gloves, an attack percent chest is great for something like, well, really any attack-based DPS. So having something speed would be great, but what else would be looking for things like crit rate, crit damage, and we're not getting it there. Resistance chest, very underrated. With speed, even better, but I'd be looking for defense, HP percent, something tanky. HP percent boots with speed. The only way I will keep these is if I get pretty much a triple roll or a double speed, single resistance. Same here. It has to be pretty much double to triple speed. Attack and defense never works together, but it's speed boots, so we keep them. They go in the bin, and they go in the bin. Let's roll those 2 pairs of HP boot. As with this one, this is going in the bin unless I get at least a double speed, and I really want that other stat to be in resistance. And that's why they're going in the bin. I cannot get a double on there anymore. It's a shame, but it is how it goes. Let's go again. I want, really on this one, I want triple speed. So, I probably won't get it. No. They go in the bin. There isn't an artifact enhancement on today, so I'll try not to do too much rolling. But if we set 12 as the minimum, so with this, at least double speed, 1 resistance. So if I see crit damage, it has to go in the bin. Triple speed or bin. Bin. Kind of the same thing again here. Need at least a double speed. Nope. Some days you just don't have the rolling luck. You craft all the gear and keep nothing. Double speed plus 1 resistance would be... Yep, that's good. That is something I will keep. I think that's everything, Rob. Just one moment, please. Right, I'm back with coffee. Right, I'm not going to roll these boots up today. I'm probably not going to keep them anyway, but they are speed boots. What else did we... So we've done a bit of these, the perception. With these, I'm pretty much double or triple speed, or it's being thrown. And as a preference, if I had to not have triple, I want double speed with 1 crit rate. So far, so good. No. I wouldn't recommend normally anyone would delete that, but I really know what I'm looking for with this set now. And I kind of just want triples in speed. If I can't have a triple and I can settle with a double, I'm always picking the stat that I want the most, and out of these ones it would be crit rate. So triple speed triple speed for preference, double speed, single crit rate if I, have to compromise. And I ain't gonna get it there. That's the sell. It's great. Everything in this game is gambling, even gear rolling. They know how to get us. On this, obviously triple would be perfect, but I'll take double and either of the other 2 stats. So this needs to hit double speed or it's going in the bin. No, that's going in the bin. Right, on to the next. What do we want here? We want triple speed. The other 2 stats, not the worst in the world. They're not very beneficial for perception, but let's see what we get. Double speed, good. And HP, that's fine. I can live with that. That's a sell. Don't want anything really with crit damage on it. Onto the gloves. HP percent gloves, good. With attack percent, no good. Accuracy, also not great. I want to see triple speed or nothing. Didn't get it. Goes in the bin. I used to get mad that when I wanted triple speed and I wouldn't get it, but now it just makes it easier to sell. On this, actually the priority switches. Crit damage gloves, the perfect setup for me would be triple crit rate, or any combination of crit rate and speed. Let's see what we get. It's going to hit HP, isn't it? No, double speed. Perfect. That is a sell. And with gloves, I like to just go in here and just ascend them to 1 star, just to sort of see what we're working with. Not a very good flat stat. But I do that just to sort of keep them categorized, and then I know when it comes to really building someone up, what to and what not to pick. That can go in the bin. It's just a flat stat chest. Missed that on the first pass. Sorry, I'm looking at it really slowly because I'm just trying to see if there's anything I missed in the leveling up. Doesn't look like I have. We've got 2 pairs of boots left. Speed boots with accuracy. These are good. What else would I take? So priority number 1, accuracy. Priority number 2 is probably the HP percent. Flat attack is useless. Crit damage is not really going to benefit us if we use it within the perception set. So priority accuracy, but just kind of doubles or triples of anything, really. We're going to go straight to 12. I won't do it now, but if I take this to 16 and it hits accuracy or HP, I'll probably keep it. It's not great. It's not great when I've got lots of other, you know, better boots. On this one, this will be a tanky pair of boots. It's speed, perfect. At this point, I'm probably forgetting about using them for their accuracy with the set. And now I'm looking at these stats. These are good stats for anything. What I like to call it my Hydra builds. I like to stack them full of those 3 stats. HP, defense, resistance. Shame about the HP not being a percent, but what do I want? Triple defense, triple resistance, or a combination of those 2. What I really don't want to see is flat HP. If it was HP percent, I wouldn't care what stats I get. But because it's flat HP, I can be a bit more picky. Double defense, good. Hope for a triple, or I'll settle for a resistance. Of course you go in there, that's fine. That's a maybe. Right, that's a little bit of gear done. I did see your email. If I'm not mistaken, did we store more energy? Oh, thank you. In the bazaar, we have energy there. Oh. Right, what is next? What is next? Oh, damn, what time is it? We're couriers. You like East Coast USA? I remember the East West, wherever Cali is. Good night, mate. Right, who's next? Take the ones without the energy. So we've got tons of saved energy. Ah, the rewards this time are really not very good. It's just the medallions. I would argue that there is a case to be made that winning this CvC might not be in our best interest. Like, are the personal rewards even very good? I mean, obviously at that end they are, but it's not a super high rewarded CvC. Obviously we'll get these, which is really good. Interesting. I would argue that, yeah, I don't know, I will kind of just go with the flow of what the other clan are doing, because I'm in a bit of a saving spree at the moment on Raid. Since I started saving shards, I've got a bit addicted to saving. Except for ancient shards, which I pulled the other day, because it was a 2x, and I got nothing, obviously. Huh, yeah, no, there isn't a whole lot. But that's alright. So, obviously, you'll see it's the Forge Pass. It's one of the only 2 things I spend money on in Raid. The first thing is the daily gem pack. I still believe that this bang for buck is just the best you can do with money in Raid. What's it, like $10 a month and you get lots of gems? I think that is just by and large the best thing you can buy. And I know some people don't tend to agree, but I'm a big fan of the Forge Pass. Especially since they turned the final reward mythical. Now let's just check in the shop. Yeah, in the shop, 3 bloody accessories can set you back £19.99. It's just a measly reward. I know you get 6.5 mil silver, but you can make 6.5 mil silver in about 30 seconds. So 3 accessories. God, that's terrible. 3 accessories for 20 quid. Or, for 20 quid, you can get a whole mythical artifact set. I think there were 3 accessories in this from protection set. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, protection accessories. Oh, wait. 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 in protection set, which are amazing. There's there's 3 accessories there at mythical. Plus all of these rewards, like all of the what they called charms, the crafting materials, the chaos ores. I mean, it is a big bulk of stuff. I mean, core probably 23 of them will probably cost you 20 quid normally in the shop. So I'd actually argue that Forge Pass is one of the best ways of spending money. Just be warned that, like with everything in Raid, the more money you spend, the more it kind of makes you do. So with this Forge Pass, for example, let's just click on this so we can see the rewards. The more of this XP and silver you get from battles, the more you realize you're wasting it if you're not doing the battles. So it's a slight catch-22 with the Forge Pass, because you want to make sure that you're playing a lot for the month so that you're not wasting your Forge Pass. Must have to hit some arena again later. Dive in with the Riz. Also, Dav, Rita is just the most Australian name ever. That's fantastic. It reminds me of my childhood, being forced to endure neighbours and home and away when staying at my nan's. Yeah, I would agree. I used to buy energy, but I don't now because I've got gems. This is why I'm always banging on about saving. because gems to me is basically just energy. I like to try and keep, I think I worked out, I mean, this isn't exact science, but I worked out if you've got like 2,500 gems, you can probably do an entire fusion's worth of dungeon divers and not have to dip into buying energy, because that would then get me thinking about, is it even in here anymore? Yeah, the daily energy pack. I'm gonna get my calculator out here and work out what this is. So what we got? So we got 17 times 130 equals, so 2,200 plus. So it's 4,860 energy across 14 days. So it's giving you just under 350 energy a day. I mean, it's all right, but no, I can't really justify it. I did buy it once just to see. I think it would have been a better pack if it was spread over 7 days. And they could have still done like day 1 and day 7 with the bigger reward. But it just kind of wasn't quite enough. Plus, there are a lot of places in game to get free energy. Like at the moment, I'm still sitting on the bazaar. I've got 300 to take there. On Doom Tower, I still haven't done this stage here, which will probably be 150 energy, maybe 100. There's an energy refill sitting there. The Cursed City has got lots of energy. There's like one up there. I think there was one there as well. Or there. So there's options to get it in Cursed City. The Doom Tower, Cursed City, energy. I don't think you can get it anywhere else. Well, technically, live arena, you get 50 energy for the first win of the day, you get another 50 for the third win of the day. I don't think there's any other energy available in live arena. But there's a lot. There's a lot of energy you can get, plus obviously you then get the clan shop energy if it pops up for the week. That's another 1,000. As well as all the quests. I got another 2 there. Potential there. I kind of stopped buying energy when I realized that if you control how you're spending energy and never go over the cap, then you're kind of just always generating energy. And not every day, but some days I've got more energy than I can actually spend, so I end up kind of just wasting it in Phantom Shogun or the other one, Sand Devil. There's another I can't check because I think it's just mobile only, but the raid pass on mobile, it brings up like another little thing here, which I think just gives you a bit more XP and silver, and I can't quite remember. Let's just burn some arena tokens. It's all just points. And this is the key to CvC. You just got to play, just do stuff. That's just reminded me we've also got Iron Twins, I think, still to do. And Faction Wars. Oh, 2 rubbish factions as well. You know what? Actually, let us touch on Faction Wars, because we just had the 2 weeks of free gear removal, which was awesome. I'm actually hating not having it already. And there's been a lot of speculation where people are saying that it's about them trialing whether to remove the gear removal cost in game, full stop. I don't think that's Plarium's style, just putting it out there. They would be cutting, I don't know what percentage of their revenue comes from people buying silver. Probably not as much as people buying shards. But it's revenue nonetheless, and the idea that a company like Plarium would just take that away, that doesn't particularly seem like business to me, not like good business. But I might have to eat my words if they do. But anyway, I think it was to do with introducing Faction Wars Hard, which is coming soon. Got to think they gave us 2 weeks. That's plenty enough to cycle your Faction Wars. So what I did, rather than rebuild everything, because I kind of did that recently anyway. Typically, I did it about a week before the free gear removal. But what I have done is I've made a team preset for every faction. And I just picked out the 5 champions in that faction currently that have basically just got the best gear on them. Now that can be subject to change when Faction Wars Hard comes out. I see it that it's probably going to work a little bit like maybe like Chimera challenges. So it will be not just defeat the damn thing, but it will be defeat it whilst it's under, or your champions are under increased accuracy, or place 6 debuffs on the boss within one of its turns whilst your champions are also under like perfect veil. I think they're more likely to do challenges like that than they are. It's not going to be speed based. It's not going to be beat the faction war in under like 35 seconds. It's not going to be that. I think it'll be more like playing to some of these characters. So it might say, you know, defeat the boss of Faction Wars while it's under a leech debuff, or heal 1 million from leech debuffs placed by your champions. I think they're going to have very weird little variables on the challenges. So anyway, I threw together a preset for every faction and worked out that Orcs is by far my worst, because Orcs just doesn't have anything. I don't know. Who was it? I think Ash did a video on his channel recently. If you haven't watched him, where have you been? He did this is the best faction, this is the worst faction, and he did put Orcs as the worst faction, and I would be inclined to agree. It's the one Faction Wars team I least enjoy running, because I think the only person in the team that's good for the job she's doing is Seer. And I think he put Sylvan Watchers as his best faction, and I would maybe disagree. I would probably argue that Dark Elves is the best faction, at least for me. It really all sort of depends on who you've got and how you've got them built. But when I think of Dark Elves, I think of like, is it Mithrala, Xavier in Dark Elves, Lydia, Coldheart. Lots of champions that I still use. I wonder if Vizix is also Dark Elf. But if the free gear removal was to help us prepare for Faction Wars Hard, whilst I'm really grateful for the free gear removal, there's also an argument to be made, like, we don't know what Faction Wars is actually going to be. Faction Wars Hard is going to be. So it's like, what am I trying to say? I didn't want to rebuild my entire account for something that it might not be. if not that it will be, but if the whole thing was premised on speed, they're like, right, it's first to beat the faction, or how quickly can you beat a stage, and I geared all of my champions in speed, and then it turned out that it was actually like, I don't know, defeat them whilst wearing a crit rate set or something, then it would kind of shoot me in the foot. That was a really bad example, but I think you know what I mean. Let's get these out the way. I've just realised I should be doing the boss, not the not stage 20. Because the boss is worth more points. I don't even know if this team can beat the boss. Because the rewards are the same on 20 and 21, that you won't get any better reward for doing Faction Wars 21 boss over stage 20. I don't do it. So my teams are a little bit better at killing waves than they are bosses, but you do get more points in CvC. More swings and roundabouts. Definitely starting to work out who my slowest factions are, though, and this is definitely one of them. But one good thing about this is I've just been looking at my team compositions. I've got 3 voids in this, so that should put the affinity issues at bay. Is this the one that mirrors the buffs? Or no, it's the True Fear one, isn't it? Nah, he's just the HP burner. That's fine. Dav, if you're still watching, I need to log on to your account at some point and do a gear cleanse. Next time there's an artifact enhancement, save it and I will roll up as much stuff as possible. Yeah, you know what? That's a really good point, Dav, about lower stages. Like a really, really good point. Just having 5 and 6 star glyphs doesn't really help you. I would actually argue the 3 and 4s are super, super good. I'll jump into my glyphs in a second. That's a really good point. Thank you. Let's get this guy down. Where are they? They are in here. You're never going to have too many 6 star glyphs of anything. I've noticed that because for some reason I suck at pulling gear that's specified for like attack DPS. So I've got quite a lot, like a real high amount of attack. But actually the bulk of what you're going to need, especially when you look at something like speed, is going to be 3 and 4 star glyphs. I always like to keep 1s because if you need a speed tune where you just need 1 speed, they're kind of really handy for that. But 6 star glyphs, whilst they're really, really good, you go through them very quickly and you probably won't get what you want. But yeah, 3 and 4 is really good. I can't remember what stages I was doing this on. Yeah, 13. You're absolutely right. Sometimes stage 13 is the one that I do it on. Cool. I will log in a little bit later. I've been trying to do a test over the last couple of weeks where I think other people on YouTube have done this before me, so it's not anything overly original. I just wanted to confirm it for myself. It looks like when it comes to grinding dungeons, for example, Dragon 10 or Dragon 10 Hard, good example. In theory, it's going to have the highest chance of dropping, well, just best gear. So I worked out the other day, and this is with some very, very minor, terrible maths. I was keeping 1 bit of gear for about every 1,000 energy I was spending. And that is pretty bad when you think about it. But also, on the flip side of that, there is a point where you'll be farming the absolute life out of Dragon, Spider, the 4 dungeons. Even Ice Golem's really good, because I still stand by you should have one absolutely massively stacked cursed set. But once you've done enough dungeon farming, you'll never really go back into them again. Because once you start your progression through Cursed City, all DPS champions, really, you could just put in Merciless. Or if you are spending for the Forge Pass, you've got things like Slayer. And then all other champions, like support-based champions, can go in sets that you can pretty much either craft or you get from Live Arena, or again, Cursed City for like speed boosting sets. There kind of comes a point where you don't ever really need to venture back into the dungeons, but what you do need to do is get yourself to that stage. And then sort of specifically talking about your account, Dav, I reckon give it sometime between about 3 and 6 months. And you'll start to notice that every champion you've got that is built will just be built that little bit better. And they will be, you won't need to chop and change your builds, because you'll kind of just be happy with what they are. And that's why I think Faction Wars could be quite a good reason to be organized like that, because when I look down my team setup, all of these champions that you see on this screen, maybe bar 1 or 2, but everyone you see on this whole screen, I've built, and I've built them well. I'm not saying they're built brilliantly. Some of them are. Like my Arix is absolutely disgusting, as is like Cheshire Cat and Duchess. But that's a lot of built champions, and once I've kind of got them built, I don't really need anything else. So there's not really much reason to ever delve back into the dungeons outside of a fusion, or sometimes just because I need to spend some energy and I might be feeling a bit lucky. But eventually you will have, how many factions are there? 4, 8, 12. So there's 15 times 5 rain, or 60, 75. So you will essentially have 75 built champions. And at that point, when you've got 75 built champions, at that point, there's really no need to be doing dungeons. Because all you're looking to do from there on out is improve, not really gain. Let's see if we get lucky on Clan Boss. I'm absolutely addicted at the moment to saving sacred shards, which is really good because it's probably better for me than being addicted to spending them. Hey, we got one today. That's great. Also, my video is dropping soon where I saved everything from Clan Boss for 1 month. And actually, the results are kind of insane. The sheer amount of gems and potions, or brews, was nuts. And I also got really lucky with Sacred Shard. I think I saved like 14 or 15 Sacreds just from Clan Boss in 1 month. I don't expect that to happen again. But of all the months that it could have happened, I'm glad it was the one I was essentially recording it. But it has made me realise, and I'll cover all this in a video, God, Clan Boss is one of the oldest bits of content, and it gives you just so many resources if you stop spending them, even just for like a couple of weeks. If you take a note of what you had when you started, literally don't spend anything for say a fortnight, and then do another count of what you've then got, I think you'll be absolutely blown away by how much stuff you actually get from doing Clan Boss every day. But I was almost pissed off when I saw those rewards. I don't know if I've got it. I don't know if I've got it in here. Don't know if I took a screenshot. No. No, well, I think I've got it on my phone if I send it to my computer. Sure, I've got a picture somewhere. Bear with. Sorry, there's nothing going on the screen. Just trying to see if I've got that sheet that I built. Hold on, put something on for it to do while I hunt. Let's just run another dragon. Yep, I have got it. I'm just going to send it across to my computer so that you guys can see. No, that's a picture of my dog. Oh, why aren't you sending? That's frustrating. I know why. Right, let's try that again. Right, here we go. This is everything I saved from Clan Boss for 1 month. Now, this was doing 1 key on Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, and Brutal. So I used 3 keys every day. As you can see, this is just the list of things, but you know, forgetting what we got every day, the fact that at the end of the month it was 14 Sacreds, 21 Voids, 34 Ancients. I actually thought Ancients would be higher, but Void and Sacred would be lower. 10 Legendary books, which is massive. 17 Epic books, but look at that, 842 brews and 705 gems. That's the 2 numbers that I was probably most surprised about. Whilst 14 Sacreds is brilliant, I don't imagine that would happen 2 months in a row. I'd like to think I got very, very lucky on those. But 850 brews is absolutely massive. If you think of what we've got at the moment going on, just sell these. We are in champion training event at the moment. We're just going to do some very quick maths. Let's just take a level 3 champion because that's our food champion. So for every level they go up, it's 2 points. So 2 points per level. Bear with. Hold on. 2 points per level. And let's take any 3-star champ and 1 brew. So 2 points per level. 10 points per 10 levels per brew. So it's, for every brew you throw at it, that's 20 points. And when you look at numbers that you've got to hit to get these events done, I know we're obviously talking about numbers like 11,000, but if you're getting basically 20 points per brew and you just earned 800, I can't do the maths, but that's a lot. That is a heck of a lot. So I still stand by, I think that Clan Boss is just the mega best thing that you can do in this game. I'm amazed they haven't nerfed it yet. Yeah, good on the books. One thing I will say, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the stream, Dav, but with this training event that's going on, if it's a training event, you don't get points for upgrading things like skills or ascension. You only get points from the level and rank upgrades. So I know it ties in with Clan v Clan, like personal reward, Clan v Clan, but right now one of the champs I really want to upgrade is Rio. I don't need to put 5 books into her. I think it's 5 that she's going to need. Yeah, she's going to need 5. I don't need it. I think bringing the cooldown down on this will be good for Chimera team. The 2 here don't matter. And I was just going to throw that at her. So I think it's 15,000 points. I think it's 3,000 points per upgrade in personal rewards. But I'm actually now going to save that because I don't think this is a good personal reward for leveling up champions. Well, not leveling them up, but for like doing things like skill books and masteries. So just be mindful of that, because for that you'd want a champion training tournament, not the event, which is what we've got. We're getting super close to that, which is always nice. Also, Dav, what do you think? I'm trying to decide what we should do for this CvC. I don't believe for a second that this other team isn't going to push lots of points. But we've got a lot more Clan v Clan victories than they have. It's only that I'm in saving mode, so I'm like, should I? If you're pulling voids, I think there's some good options. Yeah, what's his name? Chalco, the blind. He's awesome. Not overly easy to build because he's got wonky requirements. You got Georgia, the Nutcracker. He's good. Pretty much one-shot anyone in arena. Again, if you've got the gear. And then Korn, I think they gave him away recently as a Titan event or something like that. He's okay. I'm glad I didn't go for him because it was expensive. And while he's good, he's not great. But tomorrow in the Void pool, there is one that I'm after. I wish I had more than 8 voids, but I'm going to pull all of them anyway for Senna, the little dwarf. I think out of these, I think Cheshire Cat is the best. But luckily I'm not being pulled into pulling shards. Nothing's really screaming at me. Yeah, my team is actually slow at the moment because I changed something. Yeah, I changed something in it. I can't remember what it is. I think, I changed the speed and stuff of Kaimar to make him work in Sand Devil and Shogun. Before it was at 24 turns, which was really cool. But it's pretty much always under a minute. And it can fail. It doesn't fail very often. But the way I've built the team centers really heavily around Calvalax, who only ever uses his A1, because his A1, 40% chance of increasing the duration of poison on the target. And sometimes that 40% doesn't proc even once. And I've got 2 Calvalaxes in the team. So you should think that for every cycle, there's an 80% chance of extending. Sometimes you don't get any extensions and he just wipes out the team. But we're talking one in maybe 200, 300 doesn't work. Yeah. One thing that's really good on your account is you use your sparring pit a lot. I've only just started using mine pretty much from watching yours. Let's see what goodies. Tomorrow there's a Sand Devil turn attack. That's good for CvC because I don't really feel like there's much else on if you're not doing the fusion. Yeah, I agree, Dav. So far, so good. I don't know whether this can be anything we can rely on, but they are an English clan. And today is Tuesday. It's not even midday. And I think most people are at work. So I think if we're going to see a massive surge of points from them, it'll probably be in the next... Probably give it like 8 hours from now. Once people are home and had their food and stuff, we might start to see them take on. But I'm not going to bury loads of points in this yet. If it looks like we're on the path to winning, then yes, I will try and drop 400k. I have got a lot of saved points. Yeah, Dav, you'll get through them. I've like I say, I'm on a bit of a thing at the moment where I just can't stop saving, which is really cool because I went through a stage where I couldn't stop spending. And yeah, having these all over 1,000, I now really try not to let them drop below 1,000. But that's enough to get me through probably both events of the fusion. But yeah, I've got a bit addicted to saving, which is really good. Yeah, and especially saving the books. If it comes down to the wire and you know we're kind of head to head with them, maybe I'll start throwing books around. As you can see right now, I'm even hesitant on where to throw the energy. Don't really know. What have we got on Dragon? I don't really care about the Dragon rewards, but there is a Dungeon Divers on. So 2250 requirement. What are we, about 2,000? Close enough. That's probably where the energy is going to go, just to get the 5 fragments. This is one thing, Dav, you probably don't have to do because you've already got Maud. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you've already got Maud on your account. I'm really close to getting her. But I've got lots of saved up. So that's my... I was naughty and spent back in the day. Champ there. But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 legendaries saved up there and nearly Maud. So I've got points that I can throw down if I need. I'd rather not spend those, but it's there. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it, Dav. If they start to catch up, then we've got some stuff to throw down. I don't care if we don't win this one. Good reminder, I haven't done Iron Twins. Actually, we will just pull all that energy. If I set that to background battle. So a little bit like the last time, I've realised that when you're not doing fusions, there's not a lot to do, which I think has probably contributed to saving. I can't really... I'm actually just really glad they've given us what I would deem 2 skips in a row in terms of fusion. Last month, can't even remember what it was now. And then this. That dragon team is only quick because of in fact you could I don't know if we could do it on your account because mine relies really heavily on using a double Calvalax, because for some reason I've pulled 4 of them in total, so I've just ended up empowering one of them. But just because at the beginning of each round they put out 4 poison buffs, so you got 2 of them, that's 8 poison buffs on everyone, and then I just bring in Xavier, which is similar to how I built your team, but your team has got to take turns in order to get the poisons out. The Calvalax team puts it out passively, so it just goes poison, poison, and then splat from Xavier, and then the next round is Kymar reset, so it's just poison, poison, reset, and then another splat from Xavier, and then what's his name, Theodore, just kind of solos the boss essentially. And that's another reason that there he is, he's there. There's another reason I would say Fire Knight is still a dungeon I farm, and that is because almost every boss, probably with the exception of Fire Knight, can be soloed by someone in a regen set. And I've got a few champs in regen. So I've got Theodore, who's kind of like my dragon solo. I don't know if he could solo the entire dungeon. He doesn't need to, but you know, he can survive the boss. You know, he's pretty tanky, he's fast, he's got a decent amount of HP. It would be better if he had 100k. I think that's something to aim for if you're looking to build a solo farmer, is about 100k HP in a regen set. High defense, high speed, high accuracy, high resistance. The same goes for Artak. So he's my Ice Golem equivalent. I think on your account I built Sulfurion to do the same job. I think he's in regen. And the whole thing is as close to 100k HP as possible, but loads of speed, lots of resistance accuracy. And obviously that only comes from Fire Knight, so that's one of the reasons I think Fire Knight's the best, because not only are you getting Savage, but you're also getting regen. But having really fast, really stacked regeneration sets are absolute gold. To the point of, when it comes to deciding what to keep, I would pretty much delete anything that doesn't roll double speed, because you need to be around about 250 to ideally about 250 to 300 speed, plus all the other stats. You're never going to get those if you're not keeping just double speeds. So a lot of my stuff here, double speed. I know these aren't rolled. I only kept that because of the crit rate, but double speed, triple speed, single but resistant. So I've been trying to make like a one-size-fits-all video for, you know, is there actually a set of rules that can be applied to every single gear set in the game? And whilst I think the answer probably is no, with the way the meta is at the moment, if like the way people are, like I don't have the best gear on my account. The reason my account is good is because I've just OCD just gone at it and at it and at it until it's in a place where I want it. But if we take something like my Wukong, you know, he's going 274 speed, plus he's got 7k attack, plus nearly 360% crit damage, plus he's got accuracy. There comes a point where you know, I get absolutely waxed by opposite Wukongs in stuff like Tag Arena and in Live Arena. You know, I've got a good Wukong. Some people are rocking these at like 10k attack with 500 accuracy and 300 speed. Speed is the new meta. So when it comes to cleansing gear or even keeping gear, I would actually argue there's no point in keeping anything anymore unless it has a double roll and speed. And when you progress into that very, very late game, when it comes to like a 5-star bit of gear, probably delete it if it hasn't got a triple roll speed. Speed has become so powerful that whilst it makes farming for artifacts a pain in the butt, it makes deciding what to sell and what to keep really easy. Because if it hasn't got speed on it, I just won't keep it. I know that has got speed, but I don't want a Fury set. Yeah, I just don't keep anything that hasn't got a double speed anymore. Because everyone in Arena is going so freaking fast. Yeah, again, Dav, I just save. The way to make silver is really easy. Luckily, it's just play the game. But if you're constantly trying to level stuff, it's going to eat the heck out of your silver. Obviously, rolling up gear is expensive, especially rolling up accessories costs so much more than artifacts. But yeah, I just save everything now. I'm waiting for something good to come along so I can spend all of my stuff and probably not get what I'm looking for, but that's raid. Yeah, Arena kind of. I'm not going to say Arena sucks because that's not fair for me to say. I personally don't like Arena. I don't like it in any game. But I think one of the ways I want to, or at least the direction I want to point this channel in, is basically teaching myself how to play live Arena. Because I've got the champs, I've got the builds. I guess what I really suck at is looking at what they pick, and then me picking my champs. I tend to just pick the wrong things, and then I lose to really silly mistakes, I find. Right, we're coming up on the energy cap, so I'm just going to bring it down. And yeah, I'll explain that this team, before the rounds even started, so nobody's taken a turn yet, both Calvalaxes, because of their passive, have already put out all of their poisons. So Kymar does nothing. So yeah, turn 4 is Xavier. Excuse me. And she just blows them all up, because they've all got 8 poisons on. And the same thing will happen in this round. Calvalax puts their poison up. Theodore just A1s. Kymar then resets everyone's skills. And then it's turn 8, and Xavier hits them with that. And then it's the same thing on the boss, except I don't use Xavier's A3 because I don't want to remove the poisons. I want them on as long as possible. And you'll see when Calvalax takes a turn, if we look up here, we've obviously got low stacks. I only have Calvalax doing his A1. Both Calvalaxes, they don't use these. So the idea is that when they hit, that didn't happen then, but when this one hits, he extended all the buff durations, and then we just sort of carry on. But that's why it's so fast, is because the majority of the work is being done by passives, not by active skills. And there you go, he's increased the duration again. Will he do it? Yep. I was tempted to switch out and see if I could do 2 Theodore, 2 Calvalax. But it seems like a waste just to build it. It'd be a bit of a vanity project more than anything. Yeah, that's true. That's why I focus, and that's why I'm such a stickler for get the things down first that work and then just leave them alone. Like Clan Boss, I've got that team, I've got the same team that you've got, and I haven't touched it since I built it. There's only like bad gear on it. I wouldn't ever want to use that gear for anyone else. And now if I ever need to gear a champion, so I don't know if I've got anyone ungeared in my roster. Yeah, for example, say like this fire gun is Isbail, the little bomber. Just one of the things I now do is if they're missing a bit of gear, I literally never hit equipped, because I trust that who I've built so far is built well and needs to be saved. So if I ever want to fill in gear, I don't use equipped gear. I just go into this. More often than not, I get rid of the set filter. And then I look at this champ. I'm like, right, what does she need? She's got 5k attack. She's got 100% crit rate. She's a bomber, so it's not massively important about her crit rate. But I look at this and I think, right, she's a bit low on accuracy. She's a bit low on speed, and she could always have more attack. So based on that, I will just go, fastest speed with the highest attack and the highest accuracy. And that's the best bit of gear, essentially, plus it matches the set. And I would look at that as an upgrade. So I'm just very particular on how I've got it built, because I absolutely hate rebuilding because I made a mistake. And I guess the next place that that's going to apply to is the Faction Wars teams, because I really don't know what Faction Wars is trying to be. I'm going to guess, unless this has already come out and I've heard it, I'm going to guess that they're going to come up with, where we've got Chimera Clan, there'll be event materials and probably the seasonal arena rewards. I have a funny feeling they're going to introduce Faction Wars materials for relic crafting. And I think that was it. Yeah, they're going to add in different rarities of glyphs. Now, I don't know, does that mean that a 6-star speed glyph will give you more than 8 speed? Or will it reduce the bottom, like, lowest number so that you can't roll a 3? Maybe on a rare you can, maybe it's 4 to 8, maybe on an epic it's 5 to 8, and on a legendary it's 6 to 8. It's either going to work like that, or the maximum potential is going to go up. I hope the potential doesn't go up, because there comes a point with speed meta in Arena that it's just going to get silly. Already people are running... I can't remember what the fastest Arbiter I've seen is, but I'm sure it was about 480 speed, which is insane. Yeah, I agree. Maybe you could look at Cursed City as a model of what it might look like. So if normal mode is Faction Wars normal, when you pull, let's say you hit this energy marker here, now that's probably like either 50 or 100 energy. It won't be high because it's so close to the bottom. Whereas on hard mode, I think that was like 125 energy. So it'll probably just, glitz up the rewards a little bit. Apart from that, I don't know what it's trying to achieve yet. All I know is it will be an absolute vacuous drain of resources. Because it's Raid Shadow Legends, I don't think we should expect anything less. But it might be really good fun. Although I would say that, I don't know, maybe we don't need Faction. I mean, it's nice to have new content, obviously, but do we need Faction Wars? Hey, good stuff. For Phantom, don't worry so much about res. accuracy though in Phantom. Damn, that's a high requirement. But yeah, I've been thrown into Cursed City. But I don't really do Live Arena. I finally got into Gold, which is pitiful considering how long it's been out. I've only just got into Gold 1. However, one thing that is quite funny is in the seasonal stuff, and it's just because I've been lucky, I have won, like, I think it's now 8 matches in a row. So we can guarantee that the next one I'm going to get absolutely dethroned. And it was just pure luck. Like, I just got put up against teams that didn't even really appear to be playing. As a reminder, if you haven't done any of your keys yet for Chimera, I still got 2 days. We're in first again at the moment. Good score again, Dav. Having a look at the other clans, see what they're doing. Looks like we could wing ourselves a little top 3 win. That'd be nice. I've been thinking more and more about this. I think that Chimera Clash, and just in general Chimera rewards are a little bit rubbish. And you would probably be able to check this for me, Dav, if you're watching. When you are doing Chimera every week, obviously we want the champion fragments for this guy. Now, because I do Nightmare, but we never finish Nightmare, I only get 1 chest from this. And because we never finish Brutal, I only get 1 chest from Brutal. So with 2 chests a week, I'm only getting a maximum of 4 fragments for this guy. And I don't think there's any other way of getting... You don't get them from doing Clash. There's no reward there. So this is one part of the... not Hydra, the Chimera system I think is really broken and borderline. I'm not really moaning because I don't really care. But it's just like an observation. I'm probably, by and large, most weeks going to put out the highest score or Chimera in our clan, but every week I get the lowest amount of reward. Because if I was hitting hard and brutal every week, I would be earning double the amount of fragments for this mythical. Because it's still 1 to 2 fragments, whatever difficulty you do it on, except for normal. I think even hard. No, so hard is got 1. So if you're doing brutal, okay, maybe my theory isn't quite correct. Which does kind of mean we need to make sure that we're hitting brutal. Because what I was going to ask you, Dav, is how many fragments have you got? Yes, that's exactly right. I'm just thinking that would it be worth just running both keys on brutal? The only reason I don't really know why I do Nightmare. Because I think I do it for the clash points. But can you sort of see what I mean? That the way to, if you want to go for that mythical, I would argue that it would be better to go both keys into brutal. Because based on your score here, I mean, because you can just use the same team twice, so you'd be doing 140, give or take there. I could bump mine to 300. That would get us through. Because a lot of people are doing... there's 4 others doing it. What's the requirement? So over 36 mil. So there's 4 other people. So you got Corey, that's our clan lead. Infraroom and Nightmare, they would also then get 2 chests. There was one week I did do Brutal twice, but that's because I knew I could unlock Nightmare. But I'm only doing Nightmare for the points. So we could maybe lose Chimera Clash, because you don't really get anything. Chimera Clash is only good if you're putting out like this sort of score. So if we take the average, let's use your account as the average. Let's say you're putting out 800, you're not hitting 880 mil. So you're only, whether we win or not, the highest you're really going to get, and that most people are going to get, is 6 of the following rewards. And you know that 2 of those rewards are going to be the clan gold and the clan points, and probably a 1-star. Like I don't even think the top chest is worth it. Like first place, there's no difference. Okay, yeah, it'd be nice to get a mythical gemstone, sure. But the odds, you can get a legendary from the smallest chest. I mean, what? So I'm having a right little brain rant now. Apologies. I'm just trying to work this out. So it's Embrys, that's it. So I've got 54 fragments for Embrys. I don't think I've missed a Chimera. I might have missed it the first week. I can't remember. So I mean, God, we're getting like 4 fragments a week. That's slow going to get him. One that is bothering me actually at the moment is Lamassu. This is the champion that I want the absolute most. There isn't another champion I want except for maybe Lazarius the mythical. And that's only because I've got a 6-star soul for him waiting. 6-star soul for him waiting. But this Authoritrix Lamassu is by far my most wanted champion, and you only get her from winning Siege. And most people I know that even if they haven't quite got her are still sitting at like 80 or 90 fragments, and we're at 16. I mean, we get spanked. See, 62 Embrys, it's probably because I've been running the higher level keys every week. Whereas if you're doing hard and brutal, you're going to be getting 2 chests on hard. I don't know. I mean, in theory, it's roughly about the same, but I know I missed the first week. And then there were a couple of weeks where I just did 1 difficulty so that we could complete it and move into the next. I think you're right here, though. I think as from this point on, it might be worth getting brutal down. Yeah, actually, I do think that's something that I might start doing as of next reset. Because the Chimera Clash rewards, if they were really, really good, if it was the same as Hydra, like I wouldn't sacrifice what I do on Hydra because I like this reward. You get it. Well, I get these every week. I think you'll probably get these every fortnight, Dav. But Hydra Clash rewards are good because you're getting gear. Yes, I know you can get all of these other goodies, but you won't. You'll basically just get gear. So I wouldn't want to change the way we do. What's really nice now is since I did your team here, we now do brutal. So I know it's very selfish, but I now get 2 keys every week. 2 chests every week from the reward. I am, again, just being proper selfish here. There's no reason why your brutal team couldn't survive Nightmare because you have got a reviver in there in Sulfurion. But I don't think it's going to do 250 million damage. That's probably the one. If I can tweak your teams, I'm going to chuck one straight into Nightmare because then I will start getting 2 chests every week from Nightmare. So it's a selfish way of helping out. That's my That's my little way of doing it. Yeah, and also it does help with the clan. I'm going to sort out Corey's team. It's something I might try and have a look at today. But there's a couple of champions I really want to use because Corey's got Cardial and he's got Lydia, which I think are both super solid. Let's forget Cardial for now and just focus Lydia. He uses Lydia in his clan boss, and the way she's speed tuned makes it very, very tricky for me to build a Hydra team around. And that's a bit of a bugger. And here you go. Here's a reason why having excess silver in your account is a really good thing. This is an absolutely amazing bit of gear. I'm going to get that, and I'm going to roll it straight to 16 without even caring. Because at the moment, I'm looking for like a DPS-based cursed set. So we're going to buy that. It's a lot of silver, but it don't matter. No, Dav, not selfish at all. I'm literally helping everyone else just to help myself. Which ironically could lead us into a lovely philosophical chat about how I really feel about charity as a concept. But maybe that's not for a raid live. Maybe that's for a entirely different thing that I probably will never put on this channel. Maybe another one. And I already forgot what I was going to do there. I got distracted. Yeah, I might log over to Corey's account at some point. What I have not done is put a mass amount of points down. Well, I really haven't. I've done nothing. Sorry, clan. I do my bit, Dav. I quite like it. I find the game, now that I've taken a step back and started to look at it as more of like a teaching kind of way, I actually really appreciate this game. And when I see people online ranting, oh, this update is terrible and they're not giving us this and not give it, I don't really care anymore. I actually quite like the game. I wouldn't play it if I didn't like it. And if they want to drip feed us new content, that's fine. Well, I'll check out Faction Wars. We'll see where it takes us. What I'd really like to see, and this would be good for you as well, Dav, is the event dungeon that will give us pinpoint gear. I slept on pinpoint gear, like real bad. What have I got? I know it's not a lot. Yeah, that's all I kept, and actually most of it's crap. Next time there is an event dungeon, I am going to actually put together a level 30 team or 20, whatever the top level is, because for the last two, I've just farmed 20, which is why I've got 5-star gear, not 6. Yeah, that whole giving you an intercept stack as a 4-piece, so 4-piece stone skin, 4-piece pinpoint for something like an Armand's or a Fabian. I think I even put Nishak. Yeah, he's in a 4-piece, well, he's in a 5, but a 4-piece pinpoint, so when he puts out his bombs, he doesn't get turned into a sheep. Like, going fast and putting as many debuffs is kind of the game now. Yeah, we will. If you look back at the last two, so you had the Queen of Hearts and Odin. So yeah, it was the Odin one first, and then it was Queen of Hearts. The method for beating them was actually somewhat simple. I'm not saying it was easy, but from watching the teams, the composition, it didn't involve like 5 mythicals. It was nothing like that at all. But I got lazy because I could do stage 20 in one turn, and it was just an ally attack using Phoenix and Mikage. So I never bothered progressing, and there was definitely a big jump in stats between 20 and 30 or 25. So next time that's on, yeah, that's exactly the same with me. Next time that's on, I'm going to farm that, because again, it's One thing I liked about the event dungeon being on days like today where I can't really think of where to spend my energy, yet I need to put in CvC points, well, I'll just jump in the event dungeon. This is a trend I've noticed with CvC lately. I think day 2 of CvC is the better day to farm points. At least for me, I'm not really doing champ training. I'm passively doing a bit of dungeon divers. Tomorrow, I only just saw that gear enhancement. Tomorrow, that's masses of point. And then what in here, we've got dragon, but tomorrow's the sand devil. So once again, I think Wednesday is the day for CvC. Personal reward at least. Because right now I'm just flicking bits of energy at the dragon. Just because. But yeah, this is a good easy team, but I did prefer the other team where it could do it in, I think it was 22, 23 turns. But as long as it's under a minute, I'm happy. My aim of what I really want to do is to get all dungeon teams under a minute, but I actually genuinely don't think I can do that with Fire Knight. No way. Not without like Sigbrand or something to blow up the waves. And I don't know if I'd get it in Golem either, Ice Golem. See, if that Cavalrax was slower, that would bring it down 1 turn. 27 turns, it's alright. Because with speed on your stats being the meta for things like Arena anyway, they've now made speed, obviously, speed farming dungeons a thing. Turn attack dungeons is now a thing. Always picking the easy arena wins. And I still advise, if you've been better than I have and actually already filled your Great Hall, keep farming arena. Excuse me. The Magisteel that you get from arena is so good for forging stuff, which is another reason you don't need to be in the dungeons, because you can just forge the gear. They're definitely pushing away from the dungeon meta. Let's do 20 of them. Doesn't really matter. And I'm deleting anything that's not speed. Five-star speed. I'd want accuracy as well, so that can go in the bin. Rubbish. Rubbish. Oh, I think that was all 5 stars, wasn't it? That's not very good. But it's all points and it's all silver. The thing is, I haven't actually got any champs that I want to build at the moment either. I did temporarily build Admiral Black Tusk. He's just fast and tanky, high resist, high speed, decent defense, pretty low on the HP. Considering he's 6-star, that is quite low. But the only reason he's in this gear is right now it's a placeholder, because I really want to pull Senna, the other dwarf. And once again, this is gear that I didn't have to do dungeons for. This is just stuff I get from Hydra. I would actually argue, if the game want to rinse us for more money and resources, Faction Wars hard is a good idea, but they could also consider doing a another 5 or 10 stages in hard mode and change it so that the reward structure is slightly different. I can't remember where you can see the... I'm sure there was a little tab somewhere that shows you what the the drop percentages are. In normal. No, but if what would be really nice is to be able to do a stage 10 dungeon and not get 5-star rare. So maybe if they took it to stage 15, they could make 15 really hard. Like they could make it evil. People would still do it, and we'd have a reason to go back into the dungeons. Let's just do 2 more dragon runs. We'll background them. Oh no, we can do all of those. That's 3 runs. And do I have any champs that need upgrading? Okay, that's good. So we've got 3, so I need 12 level 4s. Which we've got. And we will put... We'll put 5 brews into each of them. That's 3. This is so many points. 4. Spread out the affinities a bit. That's 5. 6. Sorry for counting out loud like a child. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. And that's why I keep an excess of brews, because that was a lot of points. I didn't have to do anything. And then we'll just... I'll show you why I do these incubus characters in a second. This once again goes into my obsession with saving everything. So if we level these just last 2 up, this guy as well. And then, so I like to farm up to 5-star on these and just leave them at 5-star. And then in my reserve vault, I have down here a massive stack of these characters just ready to go as food. Usually I've got more, but because of the 6th anniversary followed by like a recent training event for, I think it was a 5-star soul for something that I went for. I see these as just having 5-star chickens. So I always like to keep a healthy supply of these. So if I think, oh right, I really need some points, if I pull 5 of these out and then just pick a level 50 that I haven't kind of ranked up yet. Not that I'm going to for the purpose of this video, but let's say I wanted to take this Cecilia up to level 6. I'd pull her out as well, and then I could just literally blitz her to level 6, get thousands of points in the process. So that's why I always like to keep these incubus characters. Keep a bunch of level 4s, just constantly leveling up, so that that's basically my food for doing stuff later. Yeah, exactly this. We did get a bit more on the training. I don't know if there's anything I want to go for in this training either, reward-wise. $45 gems isn't worth 900 points, so I think we'll passively hit this 3100 mark, because we'll hit that passively. I'll probably stop there. I'm not powering through to any of the shards. If that was 10 essence, I might consider it. If that was 300, 400 coins, I'd consider it. But isn't it amazing how when you're not going for a fusion, you realise that there's not a whole lot to do? I don't think there was anything in divers that was any good. 10 primal quartz, good, but not doing it. Yeah, I got what you meant, Dav. But so far, we are kind of killing them. But like I say, they seem to be an English clan. Let's wait until they are... How active? They've got 30 members that all look like they've at least been active, maybe bar one. Yeah, worth seeing. I actually recognise this guy, the leader, Zombinos. I think I fought him in arena. If their CvC requirement's only 10,000, you never know, we might... If we do look like we're going to win, then we're going to have to... Oh, well, I'm going to have to somehow pull 400,000 points out of the hat. Maybe we'll get super lucky tomorrow with our 8 shards. I doubt it. I'm not going to pull any sacreds. I'm now going to save it so that 20 is my equivalent of 0. So once I go over 20, I can start spending them again. But I'm going to let myself never fall below 20. Ideally, I'd like to do the same with voids, but with about 60. But obviously, they're going to get pulled tomorrow. And I'm going to set my new limit of ancients. I'm going to set it to 120. So I'm now going to farm. I'm not going to spend any of them. I'm going to farm this up to 120. Voids up to 60. Primal shards I will spend only during 2x. There's no point in spending them otherwise. And let's see if we can raise the sacreds. Yeah, therein lies the issue, Dav. I could do it with resources saved, but then I would have nothing. And the one rule I'm trying to follow at the moment is this is now 2 months in a row where I'm not doing the fusion. And the only reason I'm not doing the fusion is so that I can save for a good fusion. So it wouldn't be any good if I didn't do 2 fusions in a row but still spent all of my resources. So I will have a think. And yeah, that honestly, I think this is the best. And also, do you need it? If we're going to win and you can get away with putting down 250k, I mean, if you look at the reward for 240, I know the reward for 400,000 is really good, but even hitting 200,000, you're getting 2 blues, 1 purple, and you're getting all the energy. I'd say these last milestones are just bonuses. So I think this is a bit of a lesson in play smarter, not harder. Yeah. Seeing as there's absolutely nothing to do, I'm actually going to end the stream here and I'm going to log over onto Corey's account. I'm not going to do the switch live on screen because I don't want it to bring up any of his personal information. So I will cut the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, there's not really been a lot going on. It's pretty weak when you're not going for the fusion. But we've ended up with 45,000 points without really doing anything. I will probably run my account in the background. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm going to now log over onto a different account. And If I've got some time, I might do a stream from Corey's account because I need to build a Hydra team. Like really, really need to build a Hydra team. But yeah, until next time, thank you. Cheers, Dad, for tuning in. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.